So, obviously really good win. Proud of our guys, how they finished. Very sloppy first half on offense especially. Felt like we were outgaining them. We were moving the ball. We had one play. The game's a one-score game at halftime. So come out and go, I think 24-0. The second half was huge, rivalry game, and so proud of our players, happy for our fans. Guys made a lot of significant plays in the game. There's a lot of yards out there, but I think the story is really the defense. You give up the one play. Outside of that, you give up no points, and so whatever outside of that rush, I think only 30 yards rushing the whole day. So good job by our staff, good job by our players.
You talk about the crowd and being happy for the fans. 2 months removed from you saying you're embarrassed. So over the past months, what do you think has been the biggest change in this team?
Scheduling.
Okay, that's
There's one things I'm not supposed to say right now. Obviously, we started with 2 really good teams. We're saying the best team in the country off the bat. So, but no, not to discredit our players. They've done a lot. They've gotten a lot better. They've really improved, and they play smart football. Not a lot of penalties. We win the turnover margin. Again, 2-0 in the game. So, you're going to win a lot of games. We keep doing that, and if you don't turn the ball over, you only punt one time, you're going to win a lot of games.
When did you know that Malcolm would be able to go? You realize you expect him to be able to give you this kind of impact?
I did. I thought, Malcolm's an extremely explosive player. I think I made the statement to our staff. We have a lot of really good running backs, but at the beginning of the year, I said, I bet you at the end of the year, Malcolm, will lead our team in average per carry and maybe the conference. So he's an explosive player. He's been really banged up, or else, we'd be looking at a really special year.
Essentially, obviously, when you look at the stat sheet, no punt returns, no kick returns, that seems like a pretty good sign to you when other aspects of your game are clicking, have to get those carries the ball. I would assume, unless I'm wrong.
Well, yeah. I guess there's only two kickoff returns if you only get one score.
Right.
Start the second half, and they're the only other score. So we didn't have to have a lot of plays on special teams, and so that's where you see if you give up 3 or 4, have 579, and 30 first downs to 16, and win the turnover margin 2-0. You're going to win a lot of games.
Coach, you guys made the decision up late in the game to continue to play guys like Chris and Malcolm, even some guys on defense. What kind of played in that decision?
Well, I kind of think we did. We took out everyone on offense. Whatever there was, I don't remember, 7 minutes left or whatever. And so, I think Chris was at 290 something. So we weren't going to get him hurt. So we let him, toss the ball in front of him to get the 300 yards. And so then we took him out after that. Actually, that play is supposed to be an incomplete pass. Well, I can't get in trouble by explaining the rules that the officials did or did not do, I don't think. But that play is supposed to be an incomplete pass, and so they actually ruled it to Willie as play, so figured that was going to be a run. So we went past the next play and came out after that. So we were just trying to get up to 300, and then wholesale changed the defense and everything. And we have a bye coming up.
Coming out for the third quarter, the game's still in doubt on the scoreboard. Did you feel you were playing well enough and taking control of the game in the third quarter, especially with that first drive? Did that kind of ease your mind a little bit about the way the game was going?
I did. I think in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, 15-0, so that'll change a lot. A lot of games there. 15-0, so that was big. It just felt, at halftime, it felt like, hey, this shouldn't really be that close. We're out playing them, except for, screwing up in the red zone and long play. Well, that's football, so as a coach, you're always nervous because it only takes one more, bad play. You always want to get 3 scores, so there can't be a fluke in the game.
Coach, obviously a thing that you've talked about a lot throughout your tenure has been, how different this job is compared to others. how different is it to kind of watch those guys kind of run towards a trophy? I mean, you maybe didn't have that as much in like a place like Alabama or even Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe after the Alabama game, Trump was coming down, kind of similar rivalry game. Actually stood on the headset the first series, maybe Trump's coming down here. So it's a little bit, I've said this before, it's different obviously in like warm-ups, like Alabama, LSU, but the locker room's the same or even better. To see these kids so excited, to see our former players, come back and be around in the locker room and everything, just be excited to be about this, as they would say, 3 years of dominating, is a really big deal to these guys.
Coach, I know that the Marshall loss was a tough one to swallow, but meanwhile, you
We
put
didn't lose to
together-
Marshall, you know that?
Pardon me?
No, we didn't lose. No, we've said it all week. We just decided that that's what the score ended up, but we actually won the game.
Right, okay, but my,
We just clinched the division tonight.
right,
Yeah, we're good.
I'm just, let me finish my question. And I
You didn't
appreciate
listen to my radio show then. We actually talked about it on the radio show.
Wow.
Our coaches and players decided, well, we won the game, so.
I guess I've been involved with a few of my own, but my point is you were able to string together 3 straight wins, so obviously that provided you with the impetus to go, that's where I was going with that. So,
Yeah, no, you can't change the past. And so
Right.
obviously we think we should have won that game, took the lead, a lot of fluke things happened in that game, and so, it's made it tougher. But our guys have responded and, played really well.
Right, and that's where I was going with it, by the way.
Coach, the defense obviously tonight was one of the biggest stories other than, Malcolm in the backfield. Your 14 interceptions, lead Conference USA. To get to work with these guys on a daily basis and especially to see what they did against Old Dominion and now tonight against FIU, and the true the fact that you won 3 consecutive of those since you've been here. What is that like?
It's exciting. It's exciting to have guys play well in this matchup. Like I said, more players come back. And you'd like to think it impacts recruiting. If you have 3 dominating wins over your rival that, isn't from different states, from right down the road. And so, I told our coaches on the headset, I said, man, if you guys lose your recruit after this game, for these 3 games, you guys ain't recruiting no more.
Coach, what did defense, what do you think particularly the defense did well? Who do you think kind of played a key role for you?
I thought we made them one-dimensional outside of the one long run, obviously. I thought that we stopped the run and made them one-dimensional. And, hit the quarterback a few times, and it's a lot more difficult when you do that, especially when you're playing from ahead.
When did you know that Malcolm was going to be able to go?
He practiced all week.
You were confident all week that he would?
Yeah.
Coach, you guys only had 5 penalties today. Do you see a more disciplined team than the one you might have saw a month ago or especially at the beginning of the season?
No, I just think the refs did a great job. Fabulous 3 weeks in a row. So appreciate those guys.
Coach, what do you think was the key to getting D'Angelo and Juan so involved today that he was pretty much your best receiver today? And just that fact he was able to get open on that deep ball as well on that first drive of the second half.
That was big. They were playing some man-to-man, and so at halftime put that play in for him. Their man told Chris to go over to him, and he made a great play on the play. And he's been awesome all year for us, and does a great job. And really, I think that when you do that stuff right, all the sweep stuff really tires down the defense. And then that eventually helps you in the fourth quarter in the second half, which I think it did today.
Yeah, that's my next question. Like the reverses just seem to always work. Were they just being too over aggressive? Is that what it was, or was it just good fakes by the offense?
Well, I think in his last one's actually a fake reverse, so he actually fakes it to the guy, which was set up off of the reverse that we had just the reverse pass we ran, whatever that was, a week or 2 ago. So you just try to set things up, and sometimes they work, but hopefully really good players, like Devo.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys, stay up there so Nico